I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. In compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the Egg Harbor City Common Council was provided in the following manner. Advance written notice of this meeting was posted on the Egg Harbor City Hall bulletin board. Advance written notice of this meeting was sent to the Hamilton Gazette, the News, the Press, and the Current. I direct the city clerk to enter into these minutes this public announcement. This meeting is being aired on Zoomy. Is that correct? Zoom, and it will be, and it's on the, is it on the Facebook site or that on the website?
It will after the fact. It's not live streamed on
It will air after the meeting. It will be aired on the website. Roll call.
Mayor Petty. Here. Brown.
Here.
Dash.
Here.
Price.
Here.
Mays.
Here.
Ritchie.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
Sefton. Here. Mr. Trifall will not be calling in. He's working. Lello.
Here. Mayor's presentation.
Tonight I have some awards to give. A few things I would like to say beforehand. At the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, we realized quickly that we had to find ways to navigate through these uncharted waters, to find ways in order to maintain our order in society and protect our public safety. No one had answers. Information was limited. Schools were closed. No one could get PPE, or even maybe not knew what that was, including myself. Cleaning and disinfecting supplies were out of stock. Food supplies were limited. And of course, no one could find toilet paper anywhere. Tonight, I have 3 residents and 1 local church who truly exemplify what being a hero really means. From the start of the pandemic, they saw the needs of the community and sprang into action without having to be asked. They volunteered their time and talents to help meet those needs during these uncertain and unprecedented times. I am grateful and thankful to have these extraordinary partners in Egg Harbor City. Tonight, I want to recognize them for their selfless service to Egg Harbor City during the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. First, I have Melody Saul from Emmanuel Church here to get the award for the Emmanuel Church. You can come if you want. Gotta get you my camera. Okay. So Melody's here tonight, and several women from the church, Melody Stein Sediano, Karen Haupt, Connie Reynolds, and Joelle Layton graciously partnered together to make masks. Because of their efforts, we were able to hold 2 free mask giveaways to our residents. The ladies also distributed masks to other residents in the area, essential workers in fast food restaurants and stores, and city hall workers. In total, they made and distributed 450 masks. They all maintained that they were thankful to have an opportunity to be a comfort to the people in a time of crisis, and they do give God all the glory for the success of their endeavor. So with that, I'm going to give them their certificate. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, Melody. Thank you. Okay, next I have Annie Tinsley. Annie, you can come up. You can bring your family up too if you want. This is a family effort. Yes. Okay. This is Annie and Catherine, Mr. Tinsley. Annie made, hold your hats on here, 2,453 masks for the community. Because of her efforts, also, we were able to hold 2 free mask giveaways to the residents of Egg Harbor City. Annie also distributed to other residents, local schools, nurses, senior citizens, police departments, and many, many, many others in Atlantic County who were in need of masks. This was a family effort. Ron and the kids, Bradley, who's not here, and Catherine, who's here, helped around the house to do chores so Mom could make the masks. And I'm sure they helped with the masks too. I know they did.
They were my pinfours.
Yes. Due to the home being a mask factory, Annie said that the family did not eat at their dining room table for 5 months. So Annie, on behalf of all of us here at Harbor City.
Yes, it was. No, you guys are welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Give a nice picture.
Okay. Oh, you guys still have that. Okay, I'll hold down.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas.
No, you also thank.
You ready for the other ones? Okay, next I have my 2 BAs, and that of course stands for Barbara Adams and Bob Oddie. Emergency management. This is my emergency management team, and I want to let everyone know that Bob and Barbara worked out of City Hall 7 days a week and were on call 24 hours a day throughout the pandemic. They set up the OEM, ordered PPE and supplies, attended county and state meetings and briefings, prepared reports for the county and state, tracked information, created protocols for opening and closing City Hall, distributed food to residents in need, and worked closely with me and all of the city employees to smoothly and seamlessly navigate through this pandemic. I'm very proud to have them in emergency management. So thank you on behalf of everyone in Harbor City.
Thank you.
These are not really, really nice.
Thank you.
Now, would you guys like to say anything? The other people are very shy. They didn't
Very
want to
shy.
say anything. But I know you guys
All right,
are
all right.
don't be shy about it.
He's good at
public speaking.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the council and city clerk's office, the finance official over there, because she helped us out with all the money when we needed it. And, the police department, everybody that did work with us, fire department, they all come together when you need them. We're not the only ones out there doing things. Other people out there helping us, and we do appreciate it. Especially you, Mayor, you're doing a lot of leg work for us, and it's more to it than just saying, oh, you belong there. You don't belong there. You're just a volunteer like we are. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, okay. You want them out this way?
Yeah.
There you go. Do what?
Take your mask down.
See your face. I was hiding.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Charlie, and you can go back.
Okay, Council President, we're ready to resume the regular meeting.
Okay, I'd like to also thank those people. They did a great job, and Egg Harbor City really appreciates it. Number 5, approved minutes for council meeting November 19th, 2020. Could I get a motion?
So moved, Brown.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, number 7, mayor's report.
Number 6.
Oh, I'm sorry, public comment on any of the agenda items. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Is there any public comment on any of the agenda items? All right, number 7, mayor's report.
I would ask the president, council president, if we could have a moment of silence for the loss of John Sen and the Sen family.
Absolutely. Can we get a moment of silence?
Most of you know John was a big part of our community for many, many, many years and served in so many ways. And he loved Egg Harbor City, as does his family even today. He will be missed. Also, we did have the tree lighting last week. It was virtual, so you can view that on our Facebook page and our website. I'd like to give a special thanks to Emmanuel Church, who filmed it for us and edited it and put it on the in a format that we could upload it to Facebook. The car parade, we're going to have this Saturday. The step off will be at 6 o'clock. And the lineup is at 5:30 on London Avenue. And all this information is also on Facebook and the website, so you can check that. It's kind of confusing, but the cars are going to ride up and down a few of the streets, and I'll just name some of Washington, London, Liverpool, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Chicago, St. Louis, and Boston. The side streets that they will turn onto to get to those streets are Arago, Camp, Claudius, and that's it. So hopefully we will get some residents to come outside and wave on the parade. We'll be beeping and possibly throwing out candy. I'm not quite sure, but Santa Claus will be there, and it should be a fun night. I would also like to ask City Council to waive the fee for the electrical permit that needs to be gotten to do the electric for the log cabin on Philadelphia Avenue. We did get a price from that, and the work should be starting soon.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
All in favor? Or you need a roll call on that, Meg?
Yes.
All right, roll call.
Brown. Brown. I heard her cheating. Brown. Dash.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Ritchie.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Sefton.
Yes.
Lolo.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes for Brown. Yes.
And I got some good news from Donna yesterday, or she wanted to let everyone know that Domino's is coming back to Egg Harbor City into the shopping center. Apparently they'll be doing $80,000+ worth of renovations for their new space where the old cleaners used to be, I believe. Also, at the request of Mark Emmer, I contacted Jeff Angeloni from the Wawa Project and requested that the old bowling alley in Central Glass be salvaged before they demolish the building. He said he would check it out and get back to me on that. Possibly we can donate it to the Historical Society, or if someone has, some other suggestions for it, let me know.
Means.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Council President, you're back. The mayor's finished.
Oh, Mayor's done, okay, I'm sorry. Committee reports? Finance?
Finance, you have all the information from the council. I'm gonna have a tie-in with utilities. I'd like to recommend that we consider a payment of a one-time payment for each of our employees that we're negotiating with. This year, it was just impossible to get any COVID, not being face-to-face for negotiations. Talked to Keith Adams, and it seems like that if we pay all the fellows a one-time payment of $750, they'll work through under the old contract and negotiate for the contract next year.
Hey, Bob.
Yes.
Tim, who is the top steward, went to all the personnel, and they don't want they don't want to take that money. They want to do the negotiation. So you or whoever the new council is going to be will get the negotiation packet from Memphis.
That's fine. Nobody got in touch with me to tell me that, so.
I thought Keith called you. I apologize for that.
The last I heard that they were willing to accept that and would carry a level of negotiation. That's,
I'm sorry about that, Bob. Like I said, I got the word. I thought you got the word on that one. My apologies.
I'm done.
Stacey?
I've asked a question. Did they have someone that?
Stacey, Joe? You out there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Safety committee.
I have nothing.
Right. Thank you.
I thought maybe.
It's on the agenda.
I will bring it up.
Highway. There wasn't much going on the highway. I know they had a big issue with the utilities. Bob, you're going to explain that when we get to you, I guess. All right, code enforcement, Steve.
Okay, I have a report submitted by Steve Hadley. Donna was nice enough to send it to me. Administrative duties, this is for the fourth quarter to date. Administrative duties, there was 46. Certified mail, code compliance reports, 27. In-person notifications, 17. Inspections, 331. Investigations, 53. Red cards issued, 5. Telephone email notifications, 50. TV tags issued, 21. Zoning reviews conducted, 70, with a grand total of 620. And so totally for the year, there was 769 inspections done. So they're out there doing their work. So that's all I got.
Thank you. Land use board, Bob.
We did some discussion about this property owned by the road actor zone. It was a non-conforming lot that we gave them approval to do that. They agreed to the write-up we have for the housing that we're talking about, the shared housing, the group housing stuff.
Yes, speak up.
So they agreed with that write-up that you had. Yes, that's it.
All right, thank you, Bob. School boards, Mattia?
No updates. We haven't had any, meetings.
Okay, thank you. JIP representative, Meg?
I have nothing.
All right, utilities, Bob?
I didn't have anything other than that report, but you told me there were some issues going on. I had no idea. I didn't hear a thing about it.
I think he's talking
Oh, all
about
right,
residents. We had put out the call for the 100, 200, 300, 400.
Didn't even hear about it. There's a water main break on Monday. There's a water main break on Monday.
Yes, but it's been repaired and we put a
Listen,
call out.
you did an all call, right?
Did I answer?
Well, that,
You have a home phone?
No. I do have a number there, but it doesn't go in.
You have it, well, do you get my calls normally? You have to sign up for it on Connect.
Yeah, usually I just see it.
Or Connect CTY, it's called Connect. I'll sign you up, Bob. This way you'll always.
No, you don't have to sign me up.
I'm doing it.
You don't
I'm
have to
doing
sign
it.
me up anymore.
But if the water breaks,
Angela, Council President, there was a water main break and we did get the water.
okay,
Several employees.
all right.
And notified the residents, so it was a group effort and it was repaired in a timely manner.
All right, thank you. Director of Public Safety?
The report is, you there?
You skipped building and grounds.
I skipped building and grounds. Oh, I'm sorry, Parks and Playgrounds. Donna, I apologize for that.
That's all right, because I finally had something to say and you skipped me.
Sorry.
I was contacted by Pastor Bruce Wecknick, president of the Rotary. Rotary would like to donate one or two pieces of playground equipment to Rotary Park in honor of John Sten. I put that to committee. Everybody in the committee that I heard back from was in favor of it. So if there's anybody who has a problem with it, please let me know. If not, I'm going to tell Pastor Bruce to go ahead with what they need to do. The other thing is, along with Candace Negron and the help of Keith and the mayor, which also I put to Parks and Playgrounds Committee, we are going to be adding a fence on London Avenue from the creek all the way to Claudius, and then from Claudius down past where the playground equipment is, using the creek and the big field as just natural barriers to try to increase safety on that corner around the playground, especially for our special needs children in the area, because that is a busy corner. Candace is writing a grant for that. So Keith has gotten us one estimate and we're waiting on another, but it looks like it's promising and we can get that done.
That is awesome. That is
And that's
awesome.
all I have.
Thank you, Donna, and I apologize once again.
No problem.
Director of Public Safety?
the report will be for the date covering November 29th to December 12th of 2020. The police department handled 2 burglaries, 2 frauds, 1 sexual assault, and 5 thefts for a total of 10 criminal investigations during that 2-week period, and that's a low amount for us. That's good. We handled 3 traffic accidents, 2 pedestrians, and we stopped 40 different vehicles. We issued 24 summonses. We arrested 4 individuals. We handled 2 alarms, 2 business alarms and 3 residential alarms. We handled 6 domestic disputes, 10 EMS disputes, EMS calls, handled 2 firearm apps, 268 property checks, and 190 crime prevention activity for the 2-week period. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. CFO report?
I don't have anything, thank you.
All right, thank you, Judy. Meg, City Clerk?
I just want to remind everybody, I did send out an email to the council that January 5th is the board meeting. That is a Wednesday at 6 can't. More information to follow. We're not, with COVID, we're just gonna figure out it as it goes along, but as of this day, it looks kind of like the people who are getting sworn in will be, if we can, will be in person, kind of like what we're doing tonight. And the other council will, being sworn in about 10 a. It'll be kind of like tonight, but we'll have to have the new people sworn in at the Zoom level. But I do want to mention one thing, Donna, I didn't get a chance as the head of Parks and Playgrounds, but I received a call from John Camillo and family many years ago, or several years ago. They donated benches to Lincoln Park, and they had them installed. They paid for everything, the benches, the concrete to put them in. They have been vandalized several times, actually more than several times, often. And the family keeps fixing and fixing. So the family reached out to me and they want to remove the benches because they're very upset. Their mother's name's on it. They're upset when the family goes by and they see the damage done to them. So they would like to move the benches to Peace Pilgrim Park. Not anytime soon. With winter setting in, but they will do the work. They will remove the benches. So, I guess if that's, would council be agreeable to moving these benches that we gave them permission to put in Lincoln Park, moving them to Lincoln to Hilton Park, and they'll meet with, like Donna will meet with the committee to see where would be the best location to place them. But I just wanted to get a word out to the family that we would be okay with that.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. We can get like a straw vote, I guess, to see if anybody has an issue.
We could do that. That's fine. Do a roll call, I guess. Do it that way, Meg.
Everybody understands what I'm saying? Brown? This is to move the benches that were donated to Egg Harbor City in Barb Camillo's memory at Lincoln Park. Dash?
Yes, I'm fine with it.
Heist?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Richie?
Yes.
Ross? Sefton? Yes. Lello?
Yes.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Meg.
Thank you, Meg. City Attorney, Angela?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had a water plant meeting on December 14th, Monday of this week. This was to review a second draft of the agreement between American Water and the city. I want to stress that the agreement is not final. It's not been signed. It will not become final until we have our public meeting, which I think will be. We expect to have more feedback from the American Water, and we expect to put together an agreement. It's not signed, and as soon as we do the public hearing, we'll put out notice for the public. Will be a special meeting for the public and review a different provision. We're moving along very well. We are anticipating that perhaps by late summer, the deal could go through if everything goes okay with the BPU and with all of the items that we're negotiating in the contract. Secondly, I'm pleased to report that our land sales are going pretty well. We have 2101 and 2103 Philadelphia, which will close on Monday, the 21st. That's a sale of $21,000. The mayor signed the deed, I think, yesterday. On January 5th, 401 and 407 Boston will close. That's $20,000. And also on January 5th, 449 and 451 Cincinnati will close. So that's 3. And hopefully they can be done either January or in the spring, which will bring the 7 that we gave to George Frick. And that's all I have. Thank you very much. I wish everyone a happy holiday.
Thank you, Angela. Engineers report, Ryan?
Sort of waiting for some things to start in the spring, but Wawa did reach out to us today. They are going to start site type work on Tuesday of next week. They told us and doing some other things. And I'm sure everyone can see that the Route 30 project, how that's progressing. A lot of things, all of which have resulted in significant improvements for the city. A very good whole project. It'll be inconvenient for the next several months, but ultimately you'll end up with a very nice end product, a lot less responsibility in the water mains and sewer mains under the third. That's it for me at the moment, unless anybody has any questions.
Anybody got questions? Thank you, Ryan.
Hey, Angelo,
Yes.
can we ask that everybody that's on Zoom, please mute their microphones? It sounds like somebody's shuffling paper and it's very hard to hear who's speaking.
Well, maybe still going, but the part I needed, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, Angela, I think we learned probably the best we can.
Are we good now?
Yes.
All right. Number 15,
Well,
resolution amendment.
let's
Number 14 was tabled. I thought everybody was aware of that.
not everybody, the public is not.
Oh, okay. Number 14 is tabled until the new council it'll go to the new council. Number 15, amendment to the NPP COVID-19 grant program. Mr. Satorio, are you there?
Yes, I am, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Members will remember back in October when I was before you, the city had just gotten an $85,000 grant from Department of Community Affairs for the COVID relief program, which is intended to go primarily to direct benefits to businesses and also some community-wide actions. At that time, we anticipated probably having $55,000 in direct grants to businesses and the rest to the community effort. We were wrong. We wound up with the actions you'll be taking later on tonight, approving bills, wound up giving out over $71,000 in grants directly to 8 businesses in the NPP district, which is good, but it was far less than their need was. We have had a total need of over about $120,000. The good news is that the state has managed to reallocate some of this COVID relief money from other programs that weren't as active as the neighborhood preservation program, and that with this allocation, Egg Harbor City will be getting, if you approve it, an additional $105,000 for this grant program, which is significant. We have till the end of January to spend the money, which is, as before, a pretty compressed timeline, but it's doable. The state has also made a change to the program, which I think is a good thing. Up until now, businesses that received money from the Economic Development Authority, among several other state programs for COVID relief, were not eligible for the NPP CRP program. Well, that's been changed. They now are, provided they didn't get any more than $50,000 from the EDA. but it's huge for the city because I know of at least 5 businesses in the district that we couldn't offer direct money to because they'd gotten money through the EDA. So if you vote to authorize this tonight, we're ready to roll. In fact, Mayor, so you know, I had received an email at 4:30 tonight saying that the amendment letter is ready for review and approval. So depending on City Council's action tonight, this can be authorized before tomorrow morning.
All right, well, can I get a motion to approve that?
So moved, Dash.
Second,
Can I get a
Heist.
second? Roll call.
Dash,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Ritchie,
Yes.
Ross, Sefton,
Yes.
Lello,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Thank you.
Phil, do we need chapter 159 for this?
Well, we won't be spending any, allocating any of the money officially until after the first of the year.
Okay, then we can wait till next
So
year.
we can wait. That's why I figured we could wait for the for then.
I just wanted to check. I wasn't sure if it was.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Council.
Phil,
All right.
Yes.
there's a question. I have a question for you. Can you hear me? It's Lisa.
Yes, I can.
Maybe I missed it. Could you go over the amounts of money that we gave out so far and to who we gave it out to, so everybody knows? We don't have to
All right.
that received the money. Do you have that information?
Yes, I do. We, through the 2 rounds of grants, again, it's a total of $71,000, just about $300. Out of that, and I don't have the numbers combined together, so I'm going to be adding up on the fly. Business cards tomorrow, they've received about $6,000 out of a total request of, and there's still about $5,000 that they were eligible for that we weren't able to give them. Al's Luncheonette received $13,000, and they have about another $10,000 in eligible expenses. Gennaro's about $13,000, and they have about another $20,000 in eligible expenses. Lou's Barbershop has received about $7,000. Farina's has received about $7,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, about $7,000, and they have about $4,000 in additional expenses. Hairworks, about $4,500, and the Quick Mart has gotten just about $9,000, and they have about another $6,000 in qualifying expenses.
Thank you, Phil. And thank you for all you do. As everyone can see, the NPP was a great program for Egg Harbor City. And now it's continuing to help our businesses out with direct funding through the COVID-19 pandemic. Phil and Candace, thank you very much for your hard work.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Phil. Number 16, resolution transfer, budget transfers. Jody, you might want to explain that in case someone's got a question about it.
Just kind of at the end of the year, the last 2 months of the year, you can do budget transfers. So just kind of cleaning up some of the line items that need some extra money. The biggest one is moving 15,000 to the fire department from the police department budget. The fire department received a grant and they need a match for it. So they had asked if the city would be able to help. So since we had,
Council approved that one.
and so council, yeah, it was, I believe Lisa brought it up several meetings ago. It was discussed, so we said if there was money at the end of the year, we would transfer it. So moving that there. And then moving some additional money to vehicle maintenance, putting some in engineering in case some of the projects that we've kind of talked about throughout the year, we can kind of start working on some of those. So if anyone has any questions, let me know.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion, Richie.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
A roll call?
Brown,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes. Yes.
Richie,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Stephanie, Lello.
Yes. Number 17, resolution, chapter 159, LGEF CARES Act grant. Can I get a motion? What is that?
I'll
Meg?
explain it. So the CARES Act, some municipalities got funding directly, but based on our population size, the city did not receive a direct CARES grant. So the state allocated money to basically every municipality that didn't get a direct grant. So that our amount was $77,962 or $562, 652, sorry. $77,652. You think I would know that number perfectly? So it's just putting that money in the budget. We actually just submitted our reimbursement, and I thought we were going to be nowhere near that amount, but once I actually added up everything that's eligible, we actually submitted a reimbursement request of $77,180. So hopefully once that's reviewed, we'll get back a really good portion of what we had to put out over the year for anything COVID related.
This is our acceptance.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion, Heist.
Second.
Richie,
Dash.
Second.
Second, Brown.
Roll call?
Brown,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Richie,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Lello.
And
Lello.
I would, oh,
Yes.
did you say?
Yes.
All right. Number 18, award 2021-2022 animal control contract, animal capture and control, non-fair and open. Could I get a motion? Is this for the animal control people that we pay?
Yes. So we put out, we were quotes, and they were the lowest quote, and they are the current company that we use as well.
Thank you, Jody. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second?
So moved, Dash.
Angela,
Second, Brown.
What was that, Jody?
sorry, when you're
We're
done
doing the
this,
roll call.
when we're done roll call, Lisa has a comment,
Okay, roll call?
not the previously.
Brown,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Richie,
Yes.
Yes.
Sefton,
Yes.
Lello.
Yes. Mayor?
I would just like to say that the CARES grant that Jody did was a very intricate and very long grant to put together. And I really thank Jody for being so diligent, getting all that information that they requested, papers and papers and papers.
Oh my God, I sent about a ream of paper to the state, literally a ream of paper to the state.
And thank you.
Thank you, Jody.
That's all, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
number
Jody.
19. Number 19, resolution sewer credit refund, 245 Cincinnati Ave.
I'll make the motion, Richie.
Can we get that explained?
That's what we're doing.
A water pipe broke on a property located on Cincinnati Avenue. Laura had sent out an email to the utility committee. It has since been repaired, and this was the money that, this was the water that flowed into the yard. It didn't go into the sewer. And we've done them in the past, so I guess
Right, we're refunding the sewer
we
portion.
can't stop now.
We're refunding the sewer part because the water did not flow into the sewer.
Okay, thank you. One of our residents had a question. That's why I asked.
That's okay.
All right, all right, we got the motion. Is there a roll call?
I didn't hear the motion, I'm sorry.
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a motion? Second,
Second, Brown.
roll call?
Brown,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Ice,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Ritchie,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Sefton, Lello.
Yes. Number 20, resolution, lien premium to ESCP to Egg Harbor City. Can somebody explain that?
So when an outside lien holder purchases a lien, sometimes they pay a premium to get that lien. And then if they foreclose on the property, the premium goes to the city. So an outside lien holder is foreclosing on one of the properties they have a lien on, and we are getting the lien premium. I believe it's about $7,000. Is that the amount in there?
7,200.
So it's basically kind of found money for the city. So it's a nice little kind of bonus.
Nice. Thank you, Jody. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Brown.
Can I get a second? Roll call?
Brown,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Ice,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Ritchie,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Sefton, Lello.
Yes. '21, ordinance number 18-2020, rescinding ordinance number 2002, and ordinance number 13-2012, and ordinance number 18-2011, and implementing a new tax exempt and abatement program pursuant to the 5-year tax year exempt and abatement law. Could I get a motion to open the public hearing?
Richie, I'll make.
So moved, Brown.
Second,
I got it.
all right, meeting is now open.
Yeah, this is Nanette Galloway. Can you hear me?
Deputy Galloway? Yes.
Okay, I'm going to request that the ordinance be tabled for pretty much the same reasons I asked when it was introduced. I don't think this is a good move on the part of the city to eliminate that tax incentive for new development. So I did some research, and it looks like since those abatements were put online in 2013, we've had about $26 million in improvements in the city, including the new homes and homes that were rehabilitated. And right now we have about 46 properties in Egg Harbor North, assessed at about $190,000 each. And we have 8 in the city, and the average assessment citywide is only $119,000. So I think to encourage that higher rateable coming online year after year, you really should keep that residential abatement program going. And I have questions about how this came about now at the end of the year, when you have 3 new council people coming on in a couple of weeks. I think they should get to weigh in on if this is adopted or not. And the other issue I had with the ordinance itself is that there are there's zoning in there that really, there is no zoning district for right now. And I think for that reason, it should wait until after the master plan is completed, because the city may want to change zoning the way it is now. And I don't think having an ordinance for a zoning district that doesn't exist is a good thing. And so I'm going to ask you to table it.
Thank you, Ms. Galloway. Is there any other comments, questions?
I have one, but I'm not the public.
Okay.
I agree with Nanette. I sat down and did the numbers on a house that pays approximately $5,000 in property tax over 5 years, and a house that pays $9,000 for the first 5 years, as people are calling it. Yes, the lower income houses are carrying, but when you hit the 10th year, that house with the more taxes has paid back what was lost in the first 5 years, plus approximately between $7,000 and $10,000 additional. So in the long run, the houses that are appraised at a higher amount are basically doing more of the carrying than the houses that are appraised at a lower amount. So I agree with Annette, and I request that we table it until some more investigation is done. And as like she said, until the master plan is set and all that, and the new councilmen come on.
Donna, do you want
A
to make?
motion?
Let's close the public hearing. Well, I have something to say
That's
too.
what I'd like to do when everybody's done. Is everybody done?
Oh, the mayor has some.
Also,
Okay.
I'll add to that. That's a great job you did on that investigation, and also Donna, thank you. I would also add that Jody has sent out a spreadsheet. I believe the total of taxes collected on those homes, which most people think they're not paying any taxes, but they are. Since 2013 was over $350,000 to the city that we otherwise would not have. Plus the added valuation, as Nanette had mentioned, that definitely, valuation and taxes have an inverse relationship. Your valuation goes up, goes down. That's something to think about also. And that's all.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there anybody else from the public?
I just wanted to
All
mention
right.
one more thing, if I can. I'm under the impression that some of the council people may believe that issuing those abatements causes other taxpayers in the city to have to pick up this slack. And that is not true. There is no effect on the city, on the rest of the city. And I got that information today from your tax assessor, who I believe, may still be in the building if you want to question him.
No, they still pay their share of the school tax and the county tax.
No.
Are we sure about that?
No, they don't pay. You don't pay that, because the abatements are considered pilots out at the properties out at the lake, and they're billed an assessment every year for so many 1/20th, then 40, 60, 80. And that's a payment made directly to the city. And it does not affect the schools or the county. But there's no added assessment put on the books. So it really doesn't affect other taxpayers in the city.
What happens with that is actually, it is a pilot, like you said, Nanette, and Bill said that it does get 2.5%, but it's not in a payment of a monetary payment. What they do is they use it towards equalization, and it's just kind of like a moving of the money. And you never have to actually pay them, because I had that question for Jody, and she never recalled paying them at all, paying the county. So it is actually 2.5%. However, we do not pay them. It comes in other ways. Also, since it is a pilot, no, they do not pay for the schools. That's what Bill told me.
Yeah.
And so that money, that revenue that comes in, the city keeps all of it. Basically.
So I
around $29,000 this year. Jody might be able to clarify that.
Yeah.
And that's what, a penny on the
Councilman
tax rate?
A little over,
Tax rate?
a little more. It's about a penny and a half.
Yeah, so I think we need those abatements and we need to keep that program going, and especially for residential. And I also, while we're talking abatements, I'm curious about the Wawa and if there's any agreement with them for an abatement or a pilot or what, because they're, new construction, right? They're entitled to having it.
Yes, I think that's actually in the ordinance to continue that program. Am I right, Angela?
That's right.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
So this is
All right.
Councilman Dash.
Yes.
So I've heard from multiple council members that the new homes with the abatements are paying the school tax, are paying the county tax, and that's not the case. Is that correct?
This county's using the 2.5% for equalization. That's a difficult subject to explain, and I think it's beyond my skill level, but you can certainly talk about that. But we do not pay them 2.5% of whatever we bring in. It's taken into
So
ways.
And
so who pays for the additional? Who pays the additional money for the children going to school from these new homes during that 5 years?
Well, whatever they pay on property taxes and not improvements goes to pay the schools, just like a normal taxpayer would. They get a tax bill for their property, that's not abated. And also the 5th year, they're paying full taxes.
Right, but the first year they're paying 20%, then 40, then 60, then 80, then 100. So who's paying the balance of that? Where's that money coming from? Isn't that coming from the other taxpayers?
theoretically, it's spread out amongst
Theoretically, it's
everybody
spread
else
out,
in
yes.
there. Yeah.
So it is paid by the other residents,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So we're hearing two different versions of this. One version is it's not being spread over to the other taxpayers, and the other version is it is being spread over to the other taxpayers.
Well,
So
can I say something?
Can we come up with an answer?
Yeah,
which
I
is actually
believe that you
factually
should come up
correct?
with an answer, and I don't think you're going to be able to do it at the meeting. I think you should delay, table this ordinance until you can get answers to these questions. You guys don't even know what you're voting on.
This is Angela.
No, we have two different opinions.
Spread out. Well,
Go ahead, Angela.
one taxpayer does not pay is spread out over all taxpayers. So the one getting the abatement, because it's abated, because your taxes are abated, someone else has to pick up that tax. So the
That's not true.
are in fact being.
Call your assessor in. He's in the other room.
He left.
Well, I just had this conversation with him about 2 hours ago. Those assessments that are abated are not put on the books until after the 5 years. So there is no tax there. There is no impact on other taxpayers. You're going to spend X amount of dollars to run the city. It's going to be spread out over all the taxpayers in the city. Now you have this other group of taxpayers who come online every year, a little more that they're paying to the city. There is no downside to offering residential abatements. There's no impact to me personally.
What about the people that bought the house right next to you that's already built? They don't get an abatement.
Well, that house should have been torn down and there should be a new house there.
Just saying.
Why would you say that someone's house should be torn down?
Can I ask a question? So I'm kind of confused on Mrs. Galloway's statement about the house should be torn down. I bought a home.
You don't know where I live,
Hold
so
on a
the house
second.
next door to me should be torn down. It is old and decrepit.
Hold on, with all due respect, ma'am, I allowed you to speak and I did not interrupt you. I'm saying something about your last statement that the houses should just be torn down and a new one should be built. Well, not everybody wants a new house. Some people like the old style houses.
That's why we both.
So to make that statement is not fair.
I'm talking
because not everybody wants a new house.
I'm talking specifically about me and the house next door to me, which was patched up and somebody put in there living in uninhabitable conditions. That house.
What about you house down from you? What about the house that was bought across the street from you? What about that house? What about the house down the street that's for sale? They got to pay full property taxes.
Everybody
they don't get anything.
Property tax.
So if they have a garage, they're paying $8,000 for taxes.
Angelo,
that's okay.
Angelo, we cannot afford the taxes that we have now. Now, the only way to get a handle on taxes is to increase your rateable base. And to increase your rateable base, you have to put a few little carrots out in the field.
It's been out since 2002. That was the first time this ordinance was put in.
Yes, and you have $25 million in new valuation since that abatement was put into place. You have to continue that. You need a bigger pie. You can't cut it up, keep cutting up the same little pie. You need a bigger pie.
You're right. But why can't they pay taxes just like everybody else? You know, a lot of this was put out, and if you look at the second one, which was in 2011 and 2012, the other ordinance, a lot of that happened because of the housing market crash. The housing market is on fire right now. Okay, people are paying top money for these houses, and they know what the taxes are. And you know what? They're paying them as soon as they buy their house. So why can't these other people pay as soon as they buy their house?
Well, they can if they buy an existing home, but if you have a builder,
to be fair for the other then. That's the whole point of this. It's to be fair for the other. If I'm paying, if I buy a house, I got to pay taxes immediately. Why can't those people pay the full taxes immediately? That's what this is all about.
Because those houses won't be built unless you offer some kind of an incentive to a developer and the new purchasers. It's just not going to happen. Hey, I lived here 40 years. I've been through it. I've seen the development come when they started creating these programs. And without them, nothing happened.
Those programs were created to entice new construction in our town. Because the existing houses were not selling at the rate that new construction could sell. And it seems to be the same until the COVID hit. It was working quite well up until COVID hit. And yes, existing houses are flying out. But they're existing houses. What we had the abatement for was new construction. That included people that did additions to their houses or completely remodeled their houses.
And anyone who buys an existing house that does home improvements, as in siding, additions, redoes rooms, they get an abatement on anything they do to their existing home. Any one of us that wants to side our house, we get an abatement on that.
That part of it is still available. That's not what's going away here. Okay.
Well, so there is an incentive to an existing homeowner.
Yeah, but there's no incentive to a developer.
Exactly. And we're selling lots. Angela, how many lots did we just sell that we're going to settlement on next week? And then there's people thinking, okay, these developers are thinking, okay, now when I sell this house, I can tell this is a carrot to a buyer that they're going to get a tax abatement. So why are we selling lots for new buildings if we're not offering the incentive and not telling that these developers that we're taking this away? Because I bet you all these developers would take their bank accounts and go someplace else because we're not doing it upfront. Excuse me, I didn't hear what you said.
You can't hear.
I still can't hear you. It sounds muffled.
We couldn't hear.
I said, no developer has come forward for that part of it.
There was a house that was just put on in the strip near the boatworks that was just put up. I'm sure when he sells that house, he's going to tell whoever he sells it to that this house qualifies for an abatement. The house 4 doors down that is sitting back in the woods that was falling down is being all redone. All these lots that are being sold that George has sold. What's he sold? 6 lots that are going to settlement in the next few days?
3 lots.
I have a question. This is Councilwoman Brown. I'm just curious on the numbers on how many people leave versus how many people stay once that 5 years is up. Does anybody have those numbers?
6 out of Egg Harbor City North, and they left for various reasons, personal reasons, family reasons. Bill, at the last meeting we had, said there were 6 people that left Egg Harbor City North.
And those houses have sold? So those,
Yes.
and those people who bought those houses are paying full taxes?
Yes, they are.
They don't get the abatement when they move into an existing house.
That wasn't really my
Which is why I showed you said we don't need it.
question. That wasn't really my question. My question was, has anybody done the research to see how many people actually stay in those homes after 5 years? Because I bought my house in 2007 and I'm still here.
6
Because
left.
So I'm just curious to see the numbers of the people that actually stay in those homes once the full tax hits. For whatever reason, irregardless, the numbers are the numbers. So I'm just curious as to what those numbers are, because I really don't see any benefit of keeping this abatement on the books. It's not fair to the other taxpayers. It's really not.
It is fair to the other taxpayers because it's creating a larger rateable base. And once you have a larger rateable base, you have a smaller tax rate, which means your taxes might go down someday. But without those added assessments, you're not going to be able to do that. You have added expenses to run the city every single year. I notice you have what, $50,000 more for trash collection? That's got to be, is that correct? Or is that another?
With all due respect, Miss Galloway, I'm gonna leave this alone. We're gonna agree to disagree. You have your opinion, which you're well entitled to, as I'm entitled to mine. So you spoke on how you felt about it. I felt it was appropriate for me to speak how I felt about it. I don't want to continue to go on about it. We're going to agree to disagree, and we're going to leave it alone. I'm not responding anymore else to this abatement except to vote on it. With all due respect.
Again, as a citizen watching the council and how confused they are about this, I think it would be prudent for the council to do their research before they vote on something so important to the rest of the city.
I don't believe the council is confused.
I don't think we're confused at all.
I think, well, you might not be confused, but I think you're downright wrong, so.
That's your opinion, ma'am. That is an opinion. That is not a fact. That is not based on any numbers. That is purely your opinion. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. So I don't feel it's fair for you to keep shoving it down our throats. I get it.
Well,
all right.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anybody else that would like to speak during this open hearing?
Mattia, you asked how many people have sold their houses out. The number's 6. Out of all the homes that were built, and the people who buy the homes after 5 years aren't entitled to an abatement. They're an existing property. So they're paying full rate right away.
And yet the six still sold.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me, may I say something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Council President, I'm sorry. My name is Moshe Chamath. I live in Galloway. I'm not going to get into the numbers of the houses itself and whether it's worthwhile. That's a separate issue. The reason pilot programs go into effect for residential is not as much for the residential because it actually costs more money at the beginning because of the schools. Because they have kids who will go to the school system. So from that perspective, it doesn't work. The reason you do a pilot program is to bring more people into the area. And as a result, especially if they're high income, which is what you have for that area, you get other businesses to come to the area because of those residents who are now coming in who have more disposable income to spend. And the businesses that come to the area themselves pay taxes. They do not have people in the schools. And that's what helps grow the tax base overall in the community. So from a housing perspective, as someone who does work with numbers, I can't see a reason to justify it. If you look at the overall tax rate and the potential where businesses start to look at the numbers and demographics when they make a decision on whether they're going to come to Egg Harbor City or not, that's where this falls in to your benefit or detriment when you do the actual calculations. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me.
All right. Is there anybody else? All right. Can I get a motion to close the hearing?
So moved, Brown.
Could I get a second?
Second.
Okay. So everybody's heard both sides of it now. So now we're just could I get a motion to adopt the ordinance?
I make a motion that we table the ordinance until we can talk to the tax assessor and everyone's on the same page and understands the process completely.
I second that.
All in favor? Let's do a roll call.
This is voting on tabling it until we can get more information.
Yes.
Brown,
No.
Dash. Dash,
Sorry, no.
Heist,
Yes.
Mays,
No.
Richie. Richie,
No.
Ross,
Yes.
Sefton,
No.
Lello.
No.
Okay, so that was a vote not to table it. We're gonna have, I imagine now we go to a vote to adopt the ordinance.
Could I get a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved, Brown.
Could I get a second?
Second, Dash.
All right. Roll call.
Brown,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Heist,
No.
Mays,
Yes.
Richie,
Yes.
Ross,
No.
Sefton,
Yes.
Lello.
Yes. Okay. Could I get a motion to adopt the notice to advertise the notice of adoption in the Hamilton Gazette on December 23rd, 2020?
So moved, Dash.
Second.
Brown.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. Number 22. Okay, sorry about that. Number 22, ordinance number 19-2020, rescinding ordinance number 19-2019. This is, Angela, could you explain this? This was the one for the group homes?
So back in 2019, end of the year, council passed an ordinance on group homes. This year, we're redoing the master plan. As part of the master plan, it was my recommendation that group homes be incorporated into the master plan, that a new comprehensive ordinance encompass what the land use board is proposing for zoning with reference to group homes. And since we're doing that, we need to rescind the prior ordinance. Anybody have any questions on that?
Okay. Could I get a motion to open the public hearing? Second?
Second, Brown.
All right, public hearing is now open. Is there any questions from the public?
Yeah, this is Nanette.
No? Yes, go ahead, Ms. Galloway.
This is regarding the group homes.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the city's plan regarding group homes? She said, mentioned something about the master plan that is going to include group homes.
Yeah, we can't,
Can you explain it?
yeah, you have to have it incorporated in your master plan, so you have some sort of control over the locations. Am I saying that correctly, Ryan?
So we intend to study the topic as part of the master plan reexamination, and the board will make recommendations to the city as to what appropriate regulations might be for these types of facilities. At the board meeting on Tuesday night, we actually brought in an existing model ordinance that we believe provides good guidance to the city and provides recommendations which we feel will be ultimately found to be consistent with the needs of the city. And the board actually recommended to city council to authorize the city solicitor to begin preparing a draft ordinance based off of an ordinance from the city of Woodbury. They had a previous ordinance which contained provisions which mimicked another ordinance which was found to be unconstitutional. They went back and did their own reexamination and presented some findings, and DCA actually provided it as a model ordinance. So we're suggesting that our recommendation to the board was that they recommend to the city that they begin preparing an ordinance, based upon that draft ordinance or that model ordinance rather. And that through the reexamination process, we'll make specific recommendations based on details for the city. And then the city can modify the draft ordinance as needed and be able to adopt it much more quickly, if we do it that way, if they begin preparing a draft now, and then we sort of fill in the gaps with information that is appropriate and responsive to the city's needs. So that's where we're at this point.
So then the ordinance that was adopted in last year, I guess that was towards the end of the year, might have been done prematurely, and that really you should look at the master plan before you start adopting ordinances that affect the entire city. It's kind of like the same situation as the one we just had a little while ago.
As a standalone topic, I mean, the previous one was adopted based off of another model, which is being challenged, is our understanding.
All right, thank you.
I know there's some very difficult litigation involving the Fair Housing Act. And we have to take into consideration the Fair Housing Act when we do any planning within the city, especially involving a disability, which are group homes. So in order to encompass all of the regulations found in the Fair Housing Act, we decided to incorporate it into the master plan, which also needed to be redone this year. It wasn't that it was premature. I think perhaps the ordinance adopted in December did not take fair consideration into the statute, which is the Fair Housing Act.
Right.
So,
you might want to check with the Assemblyman Vince Mazzio, because I believe he's proposing legislation on group homes to protect communities. But there's really no way to prohibit them in your city. But he's trying to work out a deal where it doesn't harm the city. So you might want to check with him before anything else happens.
that is an excellent way to think about it. And I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public? Thank you, Ms. Galloway. Anybody else from the public? All right, can I get a motion to close the hearing?
So move.
Can I get a second?
Second, Brown.
All right, can I get a motion to adopt the ordinance? This is rescinding the old ordinance.
So moved, Dash.
Second?
Second, Brown.
Second, Richie.
All right, roll call?
Brown,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Heist,
Yeah.
Mays. Mays.
Yes.
Ritchie,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Sefton. Lello.
Yes. All right, number 23, bill list. Any questions on the bills? All right, can I get a motion to pay the bills?
So move, Richie.
Second,
Brown.
roll call?
Brown, Brown, Dash,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Sefton. Lello,
Yes.
Brown,
All right. I guess we lost Mattia.
No.
Hello? All right, number 24, public comment. But before we start with public comment, I'd like to thank Councilman Mays and Councilman Ross for their years of service to the city and wish them much happiness and good health going forward. You guys have been around for a long time, and I thank you personally. Public comment, is there any public comment? Let's start with Councilman Dash.
public comment?
Yeah, we're on public comment.
Anyone from the public?
Councilwoman? Yeah, I was gonna have the council speak first, that's all.
I would like
Councilman Dash,
I would like
Yeah.
to.
would you like to,
No.
I want to do this, I'm doing this public comment, but I want to do, the council first for this public comment. So,
Okay,
do you have anything you want to say to the public?
This is Councilman Dash. I'd like to welcome on our new council members coming on, Mason and also Carl Timbers, and also congratulate Donna in her reelection. I wish
Thank you.
everybody, excuse me?
I said thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. I wish everyone stays nice and safe, and please be careful when you're out there. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Sefton?
Happy holidays, everyone, and stay safe and have a happy new year.
Thank you. Councilman Mays?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Councilman Ritchie?
Bob, Cliff, Angelo, thank you for everything you guys done for this city. Best of wishes in your endeavors. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
Mattia, can you hear me? Councilwoman Brown? Maybe I lost her. We'll move on. Councilwoman Heist?
Just thank you for the council members who are no longer going to be with us next year. Thank you for your service. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Please be safe. COVID is a real thing. It is affecting my family right now. So please be safe, be careful, and stay healthy, and God bless.
Councilman Ross?
I'd just like to say, I've enjoyed my time up here. and on the school board through all the years. I always felt that I was representing the town and to the best of my ability. And there's been ups and downs, but I've always enjoyed working with the people of the town. Everyone here is a pleasure to work with. It was just my time to retire. It's been a long time being in public office, and I'm looking forward to retiring, and hopefully the town continues on. It was really exciting in the last couple of years to make a move. Hopefully we continue on that upward spiral. We do need more people living in town. Through the years, I've heard from other businesses that have left and other businesses that weren't interested in coming because we didn't have enough people living in this area to open another business. And a lot of times it was they couldn't get enough people qualified to even work in the place if they opened it up, let alone the customer base. That was the original reason why Acme left. Through the years, I saw this town just sit for years with no real new development. And a lot of people leave, and we turn that around. And I hate to see that stop. But it's my time to turn it over to new people. I congratulate the new council people and the existing council person that got reelected. Cliff, good luck to you. And I don't know if you plan on running again. I wouldn't doubt it. So good luck to you in the future. And everybody have happy holidays. And enjoy your family, enjoy your time. This will probably be my last meeting. Goodbye.
Thank you, Councilmember Ross. Thank you, everybody. This is also my last council meeting. I want to thank all of Egg Harbor City for giving me a chance to represent them up here. It's been an honor and pleasure to be part of this council, and I hope going forward the new council will represent the city with the same passion and enthusiasm I did. I want to thank all of the city employees and professionals for all that you do for the city, because it is just incredible. I wish all of Egg Harbor City the best moving forward and nothing but success in the future. Could we go to public comment now? Is there anybody from the public that wants to comment?
Mr. President, the mayor wants to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, the mayor was left out of the comment section, so I'll just go.
Well, I'm sorry. I apologize for that, ma'am.
I'd like to say also best wishes to Bob and Cliff. Bob, that was very well said, and I too want to see the same continue, and I sure hope it does in the near future. Also, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever holiday day you may celebrate, and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. All right. Is there anybody from the public that wants to comment? No? Okay. Everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and great luck in the future going forward. Could I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Make the motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Reevaluation of the year.